Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Last episode, we made our way up into this northern region up here. We cleared out the Desolate Thicket, which had a silly thing, cleared out the place of execution and got some purple stones, and on our way back over here, we encountered Jubilos Narthropple, a companion character who was in Pathfinder Kingmaker, which I have no intent of playing. Which was a silly encounter. Anyway, we found this city in the wasteland, so let's see what this is. Oh, it is a warm, sunny day in the Wound, perhaps too warm and sunny. The Sarkorian wastelands are roasting in the heat of the purple, shimmering sun. Even demonic plants are unable to survive here. They suffocate in the red dust of the plains. A hot wind sweeps across the wastelands, leaving the commander with a taste of ash and sulfur in her mouth. The commander can see for miles around in every direction. If there were any enemies nearby, they would not be able to sneak up on her unnoticed. However, it does not look like anyone has survived the excruciating heat of the Wound. The only sign of, life is the sound of insects buzzing nearby. Their chittering noises sound like harsh, rasping laughter. The heat causes the air to shimmer slightly, and through the haze, the commander notices the walls of a city rising up a short distance from the road. Is this a lost Sarkorian city? A demonic trap? Or just a trick of the mind? The walls look real, but perhaps they are only a mirage. The commander realizes that it is impossible to tell from a distance, so she decides to explore the mysterious city. The walls are partially buried in the red sand, and as the commander draws closer, she realizes that this is not a city, but the sun-bleached remains of a Sarkorian settlement. The buzzing grows louder, and the commander can see Vescivores perched on the stone slabs as they bask in the sun. The husks of their dead kin crunch beneath this commander's feet with every step. The commander notices rotten wooden pillars covered in faded Sarkorian runes. The tops of the pillars have been gnawed into sharp points, making them look like long wooden stakes. The highest of these pillars seems to be a signpost in the middle of what used to be a busy crossroads. The passage of time has worn away all but 3 words on the signpost: square, marketplace, and gem. The commander decides to try and identify the city using her knowledge of Sarkorian history. Nenia looks around and recognizes the surrounding streets. She has seen them depicted on some ancient maps. The drawings on the walls depict horses and herds of sheep, offering further confirmation to the commander's theory. This is Damora, a city of herdsmen that was lost a long time ago. The commander recognizes the majestic temple of Gozra that towers over the other buildings. This temple used to be a local landmark and attracted countless pilgrims. The underground aqueducts built under the temple supplied the city with drinking water sourced from a lake that has long since dried up. The commander is sure that this is Damora, but its appearance here is inexplicable. The city of Damora was located far away on the western border of ancient Sarkoris. However, there are many strange phenomena and anomalies in the Whirlwind. This must simply be one of them. Search for the Vescivore Queen. Lan examines the houses closely. It looks like a battle took place here. The walls of the houses have been damaged or destroyed, and all that is left of the roofs are a few wooden beams. When the commander turns his attention to the insects, he notices that all the Vescivores seem to be flying in a single direction, toward the city square. Let's go there, then. The winding street that leads to the square is lined with partially destroyed houses. Many of them only have 3 walls, and others are nothing more than piles of rubble. The commander notices more and more Vescivores flying around, and the air is filled with a strange, acrid smell. The square is completely empty, but the doors of Gozra's temple swing open. A woman emerges through them and begins to limp toward the commander. She is stripped to the waist, and it looks as though insects are squirming beneath her skin. Livor mortis has discolored her withered, shriveled flesh, turning it a blotchy purple color. She opens her mouth to speak, but the words come out in a low buzz that is neither masculine nor feminine. Verbavazor welcomes you, esteemed guest. Please make yourself at home. The woman falls silent and then collapses to the ground. A small swarm of Vescivores flies out of her motionless corpse. The insects hover near the commander as if waiting for her to follow them. Let us follow. The swarm flies through the air, unhindered by the obstacles on the ground. The commander has to climb over debris and walk through partially collapsed buildings to follow the buzzing insects. Finally, the swarm flies into a blissfully cool dark hole beneath one of the walls. It doesn't look large enough for a person to fit through. Well, we can examine the walls and try to find another way underground. Lan feels along the sides of the wall and finds a hidden door. He presses a nearby stone, triggering a mechanism that causes the door to swing open with a creaking sound. The cool, damp air of the underground passage feels good against the commander's hot skin, but the chittering of the Vestivores becomes even more intense. The commander finds herself in a labyrinth of underground passages. These are obviously not natural caverns, although the stonework of the underground aqueduct, quite a rarity for Sarkoris, is almost completely hidden under a layer of swarming Vestivores. The walls, the ceiling, and the floor squirm and move like the bowels of a living creature. The insects block all the passages except for one, and the passage is growing smaller by the minute, prompting the commander to move faster. The passage ends abruptly, and the commander finds herself staring down into a huge well. The passage is dimly lit, but the bottom of the well is lost in impenetrable darkness. This could be the area beneath the water tower, but it is impossible to know for sure without a map of the city's underground passages. The well is filled with the sound of buzzing Vestivores, and the commander can smell their sweet scent wafting up from the darkness. The smell reminds her of the sweet caramels sold at Canabras' city festival. Memories of that day come flooding back. For a moment, the commander feels as though she is back in the town square. As if in answer to her thoughts, the giant figure of Discari rises up from the depths of the well. Suddenly, a crossbow bolt pierces the demon lord, and the figure dissipates into thousands of swarming Vestivores. Both Discari and the bolt were formed out of insects. More scenes flash before the commander's eyes. Ash and smoke fill the skies during the Battle of Dresden, leaving a sour taste on the commander's tongue. Both familiar and unfamiliar people and places appear for a moment and then vanish. It is as if some unknown creature is trying to see into the commander's mind and access her memories. Yet this creature seems tentative and cautious, almost as if it is seeking the commander's permission. Let us allow it in. The commander allows the swarm to enter her mind, and suddenly has a vision that feels so real it's almost like a memory. The commander is standing in Dresden, or is it Canabras, or maybe even Nerosian? In the vision, she is watching the sunset over the city of Dresden, or Canabras, or Nerosian. A priest of some unknown deity approaches the commander. The priest, the commander isn't sure if it is a man or a woman, has no face. There is only a mouth where the face should be, and when the mouth speaks, its words sound like the buzzing of thousands of insects. We are Verbavazor. Verbavazor has heard about the one who defeated the mighty demon lords. It harbors a special hatred toward Discari, and would like to know more about his weaknesses. It wishes to fight this demon lord and defeat him. The commander asks who Verbavazor is and where it is from. The answer does not come immediately. Then the commander sees the purple skies of the abyss cover the city of Dresden. Or is it Canabras or Nerosian? Verbavazor has spent years gnawing the flesh of fallen demon lords, but now a man from Demora, the city of great herds, has summoned it to fight the barbarians, a pathetic bunch of mortal thugs. Verbavazor crawls up from the depths, and when the mortal fool opens the way into Golarion, Verbavazor flies up and devours the city it was summoned to defend. It leaves behind a hollow shell, a city of empty streets and silent buildings. The city walls will lure passing travelers into a deadly trap. But silence is not what the swarm craves. There is no life, no thought in the silence. Verbavazor wants to understand everything. It wants to comprehend Golarion to make it a part of itself. It wants to become Golarion just as it has become this city. It wants to incorporate all of Golarion's essence, all of its life, into itself. But there are some obstacles. There are those who wish to plunge Golarion into oblivion. Verbavazor hates Discari, it hates Baphomet, they must be destroyed. In the commander's vision, the sound of cicadas fills the air as the sun sinks below the horizon. They grow louder and more impatient, echoing the noise of the agitated Vestivores in the well. So... It does want to help to kill them. But there are some things that worry me about it. And again, all it wants is to defeat Discari, Baphomet, and their servants. And telling someone about that, maybe it could help. Tells Verbavazor everything about her encounters with Discari, Baphomet, and their servants. Day passes into night, and then night becomes day. Verbava Azor thanks the commander politely for telling the truth and promises to help the commander in battle if she continues to be a good ally. Verbava Azor assures the commander that it will remember her scent and come when needed. Evil as it may be, we will accept the swarm's help. The swarm swells in size and gently lifts the commander, carrying her from the depths of the well into the light. As soon as the commander touches the hard, parched earth, the swarm of insects recedes. As the commander passes by the residents of the city, they twitch and move like puppets on a string. She hears the crunch of bone and the squelch of internal organs as their bodies contort into strange and unnatural obeisances. The commander has undoubtedly gained a reliable new ally in the World Wound. Okay, then. I do want to see something. Is this one? Yes. Legacy of the Ancients and Final Veil. And I have one of them. There's one I'm missing. But I can't remember where it is. Legacy of the Ancients is one. Let me see something. Hold on. Alright, the one we have is for Legacy of the Ancients. The stones we picked up. So I think we can go and take care of that. It's going to be a long trip. We're going to need to take a trip to the camp on the ferry of the fortress. Camp on the ferry location. So I'm fine with doing that. The other location that we need to go to is past Is. So we'll deal with that. You know what? Better idea. Head to the camp on the ferry. We'll do the Spinner of Nightmare's Den. Because it's right over here. It's going to be easy. Our people are tired. We'll go ahead and rest.
I don't know how I lived without beer up till now. Beer alone was worth coming up to the surface for.
Huh.
And you still haven't tried good wine.
Well, that'll be nice. Okay. So, that's handled. Let me drop down a save. Alright, into the Spinner of Nightmare's Den. Here we'll need to deal with Helor.
Together?
You'll go ahead and get on.
It's time to act.
You're already on. Baphomet cultists. They seem a little dazed. Oh. That must be the Spinner of Nightmares.
Thanks, Lan. You're so
Well, I
awesome,
can get into
Lan.
here. We'll clear out what's in here
I do what I
first.
must.
Very little loot. The Spinner of Nightmares. You see a short, stout woman with full lips, long reddish hair, and insolent, lying, and completely shameless eyes. Hello, darling. Tired of serving the crusade? Care for some sweet illusions from the Spinner of Nightmares? I came for Lowry. Let her go immediately. The young woman makes eyes at you, and with feigned innocence asks sweetly, Really, Lady Crusader? Did you come to save me? You're so heroic. You're really trying to convince me that you are Lowry. Seriously. Like you don't know. You mean you don't? Seriously? The Spinner of Nightmares starts laughing. She laughs for a long time, obviously enjoying the process. Then she calms down and wipes away the tears from her laughter. That's a joke, right? Helor probably seemed entirely focused, reasonable, and reserved to you. But in fact, he's a complete psycho. Don't blame him for deceiving you. He doesn't realize he's gone mad. 3 years ago, I decided that I'd had enough of the Pathfinder life. I met like-minded people and joined the Labyrinth of the Mind, a group of Baphomet's cultists whose heads Daddy Helor was out to get. They were charmed by the mutability of the mind, the ease with which it can be tricked, and the wealth of opportunities doing so opened. I left a nice note to Daddy, asked him not to look for me, and then I escaped. But Elor started to chase me. He got it into his head that the Spinner of Nightmares, an evil sorcerer, stole his favorite daughter. The only thing I stole from him is Mom's locket, which I took as a keepsake. She points at this unassuming locket around her neck. Elor was always tailing me. He dragged all my beautiful ideas through the mud. He broke carefully implemented plans. A few times we fought face to face, and every time I won. But I didn't want to kill him, so I erased his memory and hoped that he would finally get lost. But he always came back. The last time he snuck up on me so well, he almost chopped my head off with a single blow. I was frightened, started to fight him with all my strength, and I thought I finally managed to break Daddy. I thought he could heal from the wound, so I hoped his hunt was finally over. But now you've appeared on my doorstep. Oh, when will it end? Your father remembered you as a good person. Why did you turn into such a bloody monster? When my mom died, I became the light of his life. But I never wanted to be the light of anyone's life. I have my own path, and Dad should have just made peace with that. Instead, he sends assassins like you after me. Are you sure that you want our meeting to end in murder? Are you suggesting that we part peacefully? Yes. I'm a smart girl. When someone like you comes from me, I realize it's for my benefit to split before things get out of hand. I'd suggest a deal. You let me go, and I go to the Abyss, never to return to Galarian. However, Daddy Helor won't leave me alone even there. You need to talk to your father, otherwise you'll destroy each other. She frowns, letting the mask of a coy seductress fall from her for a second. Talk to him. Do you think it's possible? I'm afraid he'll try to kill me as soon as he sees me, or start sobbing and hitting his head on the wall, which will be even worse. I can't see him like that. But, all right. The Spinner of Nightmares takes off her locket, stares at it for a few seconds, and then gives it to you. It's a simple gold trinket allowing you to store a lock of hair or the portrait of a beloved one. This locket used to belong to my mother. Helor will remember it. I charmed it. When you are near Helor, just open it and I will appear there. I hope there won't be an ambush waiting for me. And now, if you please, I'm getting out of here. This den is not safe anymore. Daddy could send someone else to follow you. Well, that's, highly unfortunate and concerning. At least this was an easy find. Now, we could go take care of that, but before we do, I want to take care of Legacy of the Ancients. And the fastest way to do that would be to go to one of the warp points. Forgotten Secrets is far to the south there. Core of the Riddle is there. Legacy of the Ancients is there. Which is where I need to get to. Nameless Ruins isn't involved. Where's the last one? Let me see. Heart of Mystery. Where is Heart of Mystery? It's gotta be near one of the... There it is. Oh, it's right by the Lands of Yathwatch. Oh, but I can't, because I teleported. Okay. Guess we need to move. Oh, and a day passed. The relic will be augmented, and the military exercise was done. The spies have reported that the enemy is preparing a series of attempts on the officers' lives. The generals are asking the commander to take precautions and protect their loyal servants. Guard the officers both during battles and in between them. Give the officers the same living conditions as regular soldiers. Or train the officers how to fight off assassins. All generals gain 30,000 experience points. I do need the military. It's really not much, though. We'll train them how to fight off assassins. Greybor knows the tricks assassins use in their work. He will teach the officers how to defend themselves if they are attacked, but the training will require some time. As for Zaurus's pin, I think it was a headband I was looking for. Give me a sec. Yeah, we're gonna go with the headband. Zaurus's blood, which coated the pin when she died, turned into metal and fused with the tip. The craftsman of the Crusader asking you to give them the pin so they can place it inside of Relic. Well, we'll go with the headband. And go ahead, call the... not the Yamas. The Bralanis. There we go. And you are doing nothing. Oh! That's what they are. Okay, demonic reserves. Sure, why not? Anyway, Setsuna, continue on your trip. There we go. You know what? If we skip a day... Oh no, it's recovering in an hour. There we go. Now we're going to... remind me again. Lands of Yathwatch. And we go into the Heart of Mystery. Because, thankfully, we can do an easy teleport to where we need to go. This thing has warp points in here. Core of the Riddle. Legacy of the Ancients. That's the one I need to do. Alright, everyone get off of there. Nenio, go ahead and start inserting these things. Fortunately, the ones on the side here are all easy. And now, I'm going to fast forward while I get everything thrown in. I think we got... Nope. Oh. Switch that around. Hang on. Oh, okay, okay. This is the wrong one. The symbols were close, but wrong. Got it. Alright, the Legacy of the Ancients is done. And we've got more elven notes in here. And a mace. Grasp of Devotion. What does this do? Whenever the wielder of this +5 holy heavy mace lands a killing blow, their next spell becomes extended. Not really the most interesting. Also, what is this? Sturdy Snoot. Grants its wearer a +12 confidence bonus on athletics and mobility skill checks. If it's worn by an animal companion, it also gains a +3 dodge bonus to AC against ranged attacks. Pretty neat. I don't know if... Actually, it's better than the Helmet of Camaraderie, I think. So, yeah, go with that. There you go, Hans. Alright, and if that's all I need to do there, we can go ahead and leave. I'm going to take a few more minutes to take care of Keylor. This is going to be possibly slightly concerning. Fortunately, it'll be easy. We just need to move a little bit, in order to let a day pass. Actually, I'll just click skip day. Because we have 21 hours. So go ahead, skip a day. What's happening here? Security training. Okay, we know about that. Enchanting Zauri's pen. Go ahead and do the security training. It's fine. Generals will undergo training that will allow them to defend themselves by attacks from demonic assassins. Fantastic. And in all this, Setsuna, continue on your trip. Ooh, you're going to be able to kill the demon armies. You know what? We'll deal with that next time. I want to finish off with this. Enter. Go to the inn. Alright, let's head upstairs.
Follow if you dare.
There's Helor. It is good to see you. What can I do for you? Would you like to renew your force? Okay. You and your daughter need to have a serious conversation. The Spinner of Nightmares appears beside you. She looks at her father anxiously. Dad, I want this feud to be over. You found Lowry. By the gods, you've brought her back to me. But... Helor leans forward to embrace his daughter, but then stops as if he'd hit a wall. No. You are not Lowry. You're the Spinner of Nightmares. Helor clutches his head with his hands, as if trying to hold back this dawning truth. You're both. My daughter, murderer, demon worshipper, traitor. All you. Helor looks at his daughter, stunned. The walls he'd erected come rumbling down. Anger gradually replaces confusion in Helor's eyes. His voice roars. Lowry, how? How could you? What have you become? I saw what you did. I followed your trail and saw all those bodies, all those madmen, the abomination you created. Why? If your mother... Lowry puts an end to Helor's rage with a sharp slap to the face. She squints and hisses viciously. Don't you dare drag Mom into this. She wanted me to be happy, but you turned her into an idol and wanted me to sacrifice my life to her. Stop, your family. Talk, don't fight. Lowry marks her words and takes a step back, trying to apologize, but her father, in a desperate rage, attacks her like a hawk. Enraged, Helor grabs his daughter by her clothes and roars right into her face. If only you'd seen what you turned into! What you did with your life! She would die again! Lowry lets out a horrible scream like a tigress seeing her cub killed. Her thin fingers clench the handle with her dagger, and with one confident movement she buries the blade in Helor's chest. Helor seems baffled by the dagger sticking out of his chest. Still clenching Lowry's clothes, he suddenly stiffens his grip and heaves mightily. The Spinner of Nightmare's head flops backward with a wretched crack. The back of her head nearly brushes her shoulder blades. Blood spurts generously from her lips, and her life rapidly seeps from her glassy eyes. Helor's fingers relax, and the woman drops to the floor like a bag of rags. The Pathfinder slowly places both hands on the handle of the dagger and starts to pull. After a monstrous, endless moment full of grinding teeth and dark red blood, he draws the blade from his flesh. Blood gushes from the unplugged wound. Helor drops heavy to his knees, looking at his daughter's corpse with terror. Lowry, my girl. Helor's heavy, muscular body drops to the floor with a thud. The little monocle falls from his pocket and rolls to the floor with a loud, ominous tinkling. And so they pass. Oh! Count Rolano, having carefully examined you with his piercing eyes, says, Venture Captain Helor is dead, but the Pathfinder Society is still interested in this region. I have been authorized to replace Helor and represent the Society. How did you get here? A branch in the Abyss has run out of funds, but among the slaves we have redeemed from demons, there is a sufficient number of experienced fighters were ready to thank the Pathfinder Society with loyal service for their rescue. However, we don't need their services. As the Venture Captain is dead, the Society ordered me to move here to offer the Crusaders the grateful help of those we've rescued. I hope that we might enrich our treasury enough that I can return to the Abyss and continue my work. Well, that allows us to continue with that, at least. And we got Eye of Truth, a small single eyeglass charmed by priests of Nethys. It allows the wearer's eyes to identify illusions or magical deception. For 3 years, it belonged to Venture Captain Helor while he hunted a demon worshipper and master of illusions called the Spinner of Nightmares. Doesn't say what it actually does. I guess I'll give it to you. Races of armor +6. Nothing particularly notable there. It is very sad what happened to him, and honestly, there is no good ending to my knowledge. If he sees this happening, but still manages to live, or if he's just brought her locket, or told that the Spinner of Nightmares is dead, or told that everything is dead, if he is still alive somehow, then the end result is he's still mad. He ends up still believing that he's chasing the Spinner of Nightmares, and that the Spinner of Nightmares has his daughter, and he cannot be convinced otherwise. No matter what, the choice for Helor is either death or insanity. There's no good ending for him. That said, I'm going to end this episode here. Next episode, I have more loot to sell, a few things to hand out to people, and then we're going to go to another location. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chestic44. I'll say it is Fly. That is me. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous, and I shall see you all next time.